You are what I'm looking for. I know what I'm looking for.
Today I have a really fun and cute Chop It Up inspired project using this 12 by 12 paper pack from Echo Park. This is called The Story of Christmas, and whenever I have a paper pack like this and I use pieces out of it, I always keep all of the scraps in the collection because everything coordinates together nicely. So for today's video, I'm just going to flip through and look for a piece of pattern paper that will work for what I want to do. Now, you want to make sure that you choose a pattern that the orientation's not really going to matter a whole lot for this particular project. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer here. I'm using the Tim Holtz rotary trimmer, and I'm just going to trim my cardstock down so that it's a perfect 12 by 12 inches. I'm just cutting off that branding strip. And then I'm going to take my piece of cardstock and fold it together to create a large triangle. So I'm folding it together point to point. I want to make sure those line up perfectly, and then I'll use my bone folder and crease that score mark and make sure that everything is nice and straight. And we're going to end up cutting this piece of 12 by 12 cardstock into 4 perfect triangles. So it's important to make sure that everything is nice and straight. So I'll grab my trimmer again, and I'm going to line up that flat folded side into my trimmer and line up the point with the cutting blade on my trimmer. So this should line up perfectly to 8.5 inches. If you're off a little bit, that's okay. Just make sure that that point is right on the cutting guide. Okay, and then so I'll get these 2 pieces, and then I'll open this up, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut again at 8.5 inches, making sure that that point lines up perfectly with my trimmer. Alrighty, and one more time, we're going to open this piece up, line up that straight edge into the trimmer at 8.5 inches, and then just making sure that my point is right on my cutting blade. And there we are. So after this is done, we'll have a total of 4 pieces, 4 perfectly cut triangles to create some projects. Now I'm going to pull in my scoreboard, and I'm going to take one of those pieces, and I'm going to use that flat edge, and I'm going to pop it up into the top of my scoreboard. I first want to find the center point. So I'm going to take a little alcohol marker and find the 6-inch mark on my scoreboard and just make a little mark. This will make things easier as we go along. So I'm going to take that flat edge, line it up into the top of my scoreboard, and I'm going to make sure that my point lines up with that little black Sharpie mark. And then I'm going to score at 4 inches and then at 8 inches. And then I'm going to rotate my paper and putting that long flat side against the left side of my trimmer. And then I'm going to find the 3-inch score line and then score at 3 inches. So I'm starting at the top to find the score line and make sure that I get the right mark on my paper. So I'm just reinforcing that score line. So there we go. All right, so that's going to be it for the scoring. Now I'm going to crease all of these score marks. So I'll use my bone folder and fold all the scores and make sure that we get nice sharp creases. There are going to be a couple of areas that need to be cut away. So when folding your score marks, some scores are going to cross over each other, and you'll see that here. We're going to cut these 2 little corners away. So there's little triangle pieces. I'm just following along that score line and cutting away these 2 pieces. So this is going to create a little envelope, and cutting away these pieces will help everything fold together nicely. And then you should have a little piece that looks like this. So we have this cute little envelope, and I'm just going to grab my bone folder and retrain that paper to make sure that everything closes nicely. And at this point now we're going to glue everything together. So this is super quick and simple. I'm just going to make a small line of liquid glue across the bottom of this little envelope, and then I'm going to fold the one piece over, add a little bit more glue here, fold this piece over, and then that's going to be it. This envelope is done, nothing more to do here. Now, if you want, you can round the corners of the entire envelope, the envelope flap, whatever you want to do, but this is a perfect, cute little envelope. Now, I do like to round the corners. I think it softens it a little bit. You could even cut off this flap a little if you want a rectangle flap instead of a triangle. Now at this point we have an opportunity to cut off any excess from where we originally scored and folded those papers. So if anything's sticking out, we'll just trim that away. I like this cute little envelope. This is perfect for a small little note card or a gift card to add to presents. So let's go over this one more time. Taking that piece, lining that flat edge up into the trimmer, scoring at 4 inches, 8 inches, rotating, scoring at 3 inches, and then cutting away those 2 little corners where our envelope will close. So this is what you should have at this point. Now I like to round the corners ahead of time because I know I'm going to need to do that anyways. I'll crease all of my folds, apply some liquid glue, and I like to do this in one quick shot all the way across the bottom onto one flap. And then I can just seal everything up together, and there we go. What's fun about double-sided paper is that you can get a variety of different looks, and your envelope is cute on the inside too. So that's just a little fun extra. You don't have to use double-sided paper. You can use whatever you have. And if you wanted the inside to be cute, you could just add a little envelope liner or whatever. So this 12 by 12 piece of paper gets us 4 cute little envelopes that measure 3 by 4 inches. Perfect for the upcoming holiday season. You could also use any type of paper to create any theme project. Could be for birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, whatever you want to make. Alright, so that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it here with me. I appreciate the support as always. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you along my journey here on YouTube. Don't forget to click the like button if you enjoyed this content, and leave a comment down below if you want to see more Chop It Up inspired projects. Coming up on screen is a playlist of 90 going on 100 plus videos of Chop It Up inspired projects. I hope that they inspire you to get crafty in your space. Have yourself a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!